Okay, let me ask you this. Do you ever find yourself like locked in a silent battle with your own mind? You wake up, right? You've got clear intentions. Today's the day. Big project, new habit, finally tackle those distractions. But then, the hours tick by and that little voice starts negotiating. Just 5 more minutes. Or you can start tomorrow. Maybe you're at this break and bam, the day's gone. And you're left with that kind of familiar frustration, like a promise you broke to yourself. We've all been there. So today on the deep dive, we're getting into something really fundamental. Mental discipline, our mission, to really reframe how you see it, unlock its power, and give you a practical blueprint you can use right away. And forget the idea that discipline is about punishment or restriction. This is about freedom, real freedom, the freedom to steer your life, build the future you actually want, and, finally become the master of your own mind.
Exactly. And the psychology here is fascinating because discipline gets such a bad rap, doesn't it? Like it's this heavy burden.
Mm.
But when you really get the why behind it, when you see it as this actionable framework for building things, that whole perspective shifts. So this deep dive, it's designed to give you not just info, but like real understanding, quickly, thoroughly, so you can actually apply it, starting now.
Right. So to really get what we're dealing with, let's start with an image. Picture a magnificent, powerful, wild horse. Incredible energy, right? Huge strength, just boundless potential, but totally untamed. Now imagine trying to use that horse to plow a field with zero training. It'd be chaos. It would buck, bolt off, maybe destroy everything around it. Its power without direction is actually destructive. That wild horse, that's the undisciplined mind.
And from a psychological view, yeah, our minds are fundamentally wired for survival. That's the base programming. In the modern world, this often shows up as a default setting. Seek comfort, avoid pain, chase instant gratification. It's just easier. And this wiring gets amplified like crazy by what we call the attention economy. It's this whole environment built to feed our minds a constant drip, drip, drip of dopamine. Think about the endless scrolling, the notifications, those super short videos. Every little bit is engineered using things like cognitive biases, our love for novelty, the pull of random rewards, just to keep our minds hooked, distracted. Your phone, your apps, the whole digital world, it's basically designed to keep that wild horse running free,
Right.
but aimlessly.
So when you try to settle down, focus on something hard but important, your mind naturally just bucks. It wants the easy thing, the quick hit. And it's so important to get this. This isn't some character flaw. It's not you being weak. It's your mind's default setting kicking in. So procrastination, it's not really laziness. Often it's your mind trying to dodge discomfort. That's what it's learned. And giving in to distraction. That's not a lack of desire for your goals. It's your mind seeking that quick pleasure fix, that dopamine rush it's gotten used to.
Which leads to a really critical question, doesn't it? What happens long term if we just keep giving in to that default? A life built mainly on comfort, on instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good in the moment, sure, but unfortunately it tends to lead straight to stagnation. Your biggest dreams, your ambitious goals, your actual potential, they don't live in the comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
They live on the other side of that discomfort, in the realm of focused, dedicated, disciplined action. And that just requires moving beyond that immediate need for ease.
So if we zoom out, what's the big insight from understanding this sort of wild mind? It's that mental discipline isn't about caging the horse. It's not about breaking its spirit. It's the opposite. It's about training it, understanding that incredible power and learning how to skillfully direct it, channeling its energy intentionally towards a destination you choose. And the prize for this, it isn't some miserable, restricted life. No, the prize is deep freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from being yanked around by your moods, and the freedom to build a life that actually excites you on your own terms. Okay, so how do we start this training? How do we go from being pulled around by our minds to being the rider, actually holding the reins? It really boils down to building a system. A reliable one. Think about it. Motivation, it's great. It's a spark. It gets you going. It feels good. But let's be real. It's flaky. It comes and goes. Discipline, though, that's the system. That's the steady engine that keeps the fire burning, even when you feel zero motivation, like on those cold, rainy days. And we're going to build that system on 5 key pillars, 5 foundations. Pillar number 1. Define your destination with unwavering clarity. Okay, first thing. Discipline needs a target, a specific one. You can just be disciplined in general. You need to be disciplined for something. Think about that horse again. Why run straight if there's no finish line, no clear point B? So here's the challenge for you. What's the one thing? If you achieved it, it would make the biggest difference in your life right now. Not 10 things, not 5, just 1. Is it finishing that course? Hitting a specific health goal? Writing that first chapter. Get crystal clear. Don't just say, oh, I want to be healthier. That's fuzzy. It leads to fuzzy actions or no action. A discipline goal sounds like, I will go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., and I'll prep my meals at home this week. No processed sugar. See the difference? One's a wish, the other's command. It gives your mind clear instructions, so when your brain asks, what now? The answer's already there. No debate. No negotiation needed.
And this is where the science really backs it up, that kind of clarity. It massively reduces what psychologists call cognitive friction, our prefrontal cortex. The decision-making part of the brain. It has limited juice. When a goal is vague, your brain burns energy just trying to figure out what to do next. That leads to fatigue, and often you just avoid it altogether. But give it a clear map, like those exact gym times, those specific food rules, your brain gets unambiguous instructions, like GPS coordinates. It makes chasing the goal way more efficient, much less likely to get derailed because the path is just clear. Saves that precious mental energy.
Okay, pillar number 2. Become the architect of your environment. This is huge. Willpower. It's finite, like a muscle or maybe more like a phone battery. It drains throughout the day, especially with every choice you make. So why waste it fighting battles you don't need to fight? The smartest way to be disciplined is to set up your environment so the disciplined choice is the easy choice, maybe even the automatic one. For instance, want to stop checking your phone constantly. Don't just try harder. That rarely works long term. When you need to focus, physically put your phone in another room. Out of sight, out of reach. That tiny bit of friction having to get up, walk over, is often enough to break that impulsive grab. Want to eat healthier? Simple. Don't keep junk food in the house. You literally can't eat what isn't there. Want to hit the gym in the morning? Lay out your clothes, shoes, water bottle the night before, everything ready to go. You're removing decision points, reducing friction for your future self. You're making discipline the path of least resistance. Your environment is shaping you, whether you like it or not, so take charge. Shape it first to support your goals.
And this connects directly to a core psychological idea. Environmental cues have this incredibly powerful pull on our behavior. Our brains are like association machines. They build really strong links between places, things, and actions. Just seeing your phone can trigger that whole neural pathway to pick it up, even if you didn't consciously plan to. It's almost automatic. What behavioral science shows us is that sometimes the environment is actually a stronger predictor of what you'll do than your internal motivation. So by proactively removing those tempting cues or creating positive ones like the gym clothes laid out, you're not just resisting temptation. You're kind of sidestepping the unconscious urge altogether. You're essentially creating a default pathway toward the behavior you want, making the disciplined choice feel less like a fight and more like just coasting downhill.
All right, pillar number 3. Master the art of the microstart. This one, total game changer. Because the biggest enemy for so many of us, feeling completely overwhelmed, the task just looks so massive, so daunting, that starting feels impossible. Where do you even begin? The solution is brilliant. Make the start ridiculously, almost laughably small. This is the core idea behind the 2-minute rule, which James Clear talks about a lot. Whatever your goal is, shrink it down so the very first step takes less than 2 minutes. Literally. So, read a book every week. That becomes read 1 page, just one. Meditate for 30 minutes becomes sit in silence for 1 minute. Run a 5K becomes put on my running shoes and step outside. That's it. Anyone can read 1 page right. Anyone can put on shoes. The magic is, well, it's physics almost. An object in motion stays in motion. Starting is the hardest part. Once you've actually read that 1 page, reading another feels way easier. Once you're outside in your running shoes, you might as well walk a bit, maybe even run. The microstart bypasses that brain resistance to big tasks and instantly builds momentum. And momentum, that's the fuel for discipline.
Yes, and psychologically, this tackles what we call inertia, specifically mental inertia. Our brains are wired for efficiency, right? Big tasks signal a big energy drain, which immediately triggers resistance. Like trying to push a stalled car, getting it moving takes the most effort. Making the start tiny tricks your brain. It sees the task as non-threatening, low cost. Oh, just 1 page. Okay, I can do that. Then, once you start, the brain's natural tendency towards completion, plus the little satisfaction kick you get, even from a tiny step, takes over. It leverages our desire for progress and makes continuing the task just so much easier. Exponentially easier sometimes.
Okay, pillar number 4. Learn to love the discomfort. This is really where the rubber meets the road. This is the core of it. There will be moments, probably lots of them, when your mind just screams, "Esto so P." It'll feel uncomfortable, maybe intensely so. You'll feel that resistance, that urge to quit, that little voice whispering about how much nicer it would be to just relax. Back to comfort. In that exact moment, you face a choice. A critical one. Most people, they retreat. Back to what feels easy, the disciplined mind. It leans in, it doesn't run away. You have to learn actively to reframe that feeling. Discomfort isn't a stop sign, it's a signal. It means you're growing. Think of it like a muscle tearing just a tiny bit so it can rebuild stronger. That's the feeling. So next time you feel that urge to procrastinate or quit or just check your phone, pause, maybe even smile a little, and tell yourself, ah, there it is. That's the feeling of growth. Right? Run from it, feel it, acknowledge it. And then this is key. Take the next small action anyway. Push through it.
And this is where we get into something called active neuroplasticity. It sounds fancy, but it's real. Every single time you push past that urge, that desire to retreat to comfort, you are literally rewiring your brain. You're building and strengthening new neural pathways. You are teaching your brain, step by step, that you are in charge, not your fleeting feelings, not those temporary impulses. You. This isn't just about gritting your teeth and enduring pain. It's about building genuine resilience, true self-mastery, that productive discomfort, as some call it. It's not just a barrier. It is essentially the price of admission for doing anything meaningful, for building an extraordinary life, because all real growth happens just outside that comfort zone. That's where the magic happens.
And finally, pillar number 5, the rule of review and forgiveness. Let's just be real here for a second. You will mess up. You'll stumble. You'll skip the gym some days. You'll eat the cake. You'll fall off the horse. It happens to everyone. Perfection is not the goal. It's impossible anyway. Consistent action, even if it's imperfect, that's the goal. Now, the undisciplined mind sees one slip up as proof. See, I knew I couldn't do it, and gives up completely. Done. The disciplined mind, though, has a strategy for this. It uses the never miss twice rule, Mr. Workout Monday. Okay, fine, it happens, life happens, but you absolutely do not miss Wednesday, no matter what. One mistake, that's an anomaly. 2 mistakes in a row, that's the start of a new unwanted habit. Combine this rule with a simple weekly review. Every Sunday, maybe take 15 minutes. Look back honestly. Where did you nail it? What worked? Celebrate that. And where did you stumble? What trips you up? Then adjust. Tweak your environment maybe. Change your strategy slightly for next week. This isn't about beating yourself up. Forget the self-criticism. It's about learning, adjusting, and always, always getting back on the horse, moving forward.
Absolutely. And that rule, that combination, highlights 2 critical psychological elements: self-compassion or forgiveness, and that consistent review. They're essential for sticking with anything long-term. Without forgiving yourself for a lapse, that one mistake can easily snowball. Guilt and shame kick in, and you just avoid trying again. It becomes self-sabotage. But the regular review, that reinforces a growth mindset. It trains you to see setbacks not as failures, but as data. Really valuable data points for how to improve this cycle: learn, adjust, recommit. It's absolutely fundamental for building and sustaining discipline over the long haul. It's how those habits actually stick and become part of who you are.
So there you have it, the 5 pillars, your toolkit for training that amazing mind. 1, clarity of destination. Know exactly where you're aiming. Laser focus. 2, architect your environment. Make discipline the easy path, not the hard one. 3, the micro start. Make starting so tiny it's impossible not to do it. Build momentum. 4, embrace discomfort. Reframe struggle as growth. Lean into it. And 5, review and forgive. Never miss twice. Learn from stumbles. Get back up. Always. Remember that untamed wild horse, that incredible power inside your mind. It's still there, all that potential. But now you have the brains, you have the tools, you have a strategy to start its training, not with force or anger, but with intelligence, with consistency, with small, deliberate actions. The battle for your life, for the future you really want, it's won or lost every day, right there. On the battlefield of your own mind, it's won in those tiny moments. Choosing to get up instead of hitting snooze again, putting the phone down to focus, doing the hard thing just for 2 minutes. Your future self, they're counting on you to make those choices today. So pick one thing, just one area you want to apply this to, and use these pillars today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Define it clearly, architect your space for it, use a micro start, lean in when it feels hard, and if you slip, forgive yourself and don't miss twice.
You know, the power to change your life, it really has been inside you the whole time. Discipline, it's just the key that unlocks that power. So stop waiting. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions or for some wave of motivation. Just start doing it right now, even the smallest step, and become the master of your mind. And when you do that, you become the master of your destiny.